strong in faith.
Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria, 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Hello, my people. Good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting episode of Marriage and Family Matters here on Radio Maria 91.3 FM, the voice of truth. You know how it is now. Marriage and Family Matters is a program that is packed with lots of content to help you build a beautiful family, to help you grow a healthy marriage. Marriage and Family Matters has lots of content that will help you understand how to live in a married way. I am Agi Esther Anya Estanya, your favorite girl on radio, and I am your host for today. Normal, I am not alone in the studio. I have people who are going to help me understand today's topic. So they will do the introduction themselves. Let's give it up for.
Good afternoon, listener. My name is Thomas Ayo. It's a privilege to be here again on this program, Marriage and Family Matters.
Good afternoon to you. My name is Chijuke Nelson. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Welcome once again to Marriage and Family Matters. Just sit tight and you'll never regret you did.
Good afternoon, Abuja. It's another sunny Sunday afternoon. We are here once again. I am Raphael Ochuko, your marriage counselor on radio.
Welcome, everybody. We have all met ourselves, and you know how it is. The blood has started doing pop. Like today's topic, as you don't want to know how we're going to understand today's topic because it is something that is very applicable in our everyday lives. But then you know how it is. We are going on a quick break. We will be back. Welcome back, my people. If you are just joining us, this is 91.3 FM Radio Maria, the voice of truth. It is still Marriage and Family Matters, and I am still your favorite girl, Estania. Like I said before, today's topic is a very, very practical topic. Before we get to today's topic, in our last edition, we talked about distance relationships, communication in long distance relationships, and we learned that you should be able to use communication to bridge the gap between you and your partner. Today we have brought to you personal habits in marriage. Managing personal habits in marriage, that is our today's topic. And the person that we have brought to you to help you understand today's topic, Egweji. Get what they call Egweji. She is a chemist, she is a sociologist, she is a wife, she is a mother, and she is the director of the Auntie Anna Hangout. We have with us in the studio Mrs. Anna Oche. Welcome, ma.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you once again.
Welcome on board, ma. Yes, straight ahead, we are moving. Today's topic is managing personal habits in marriage. So, do you mind? What is personal habit? What's the idea of personal habit?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. When I got the topic, I was wondering, like, okay, what exactly am I expected to, talk about? But I realized that there's no way I will not have to make reference to the dictionary to help me understand this topic better. And then I broke it down into three parts. That's the personal habits and then marriage. And um, okay, the personal and the habits. And personal has to do with something that is individualistic, something that is belonging to you, oneself. It's about you. And then when we talk about habits, habits are things or actions, things that you've done repeatedly over time that become part of you. And then marriage is a union between two persons, a man and a female. Okay. And so personal habits for me would be those things that we do within the context of marriage that will either make this marriage or break the marriage. So for me, that's what I understand by personal habits in marriage.
Personal habits in marriage. From marriage counselor, from what she just said now, one could begin to ask what factors, since she's saying that this personal habits has to do with individuals repeating a particular set of actions over a period of time. And the question is there or are there factors that trigger these personal habits?
Okay. We're talking about factors that triggers personal. First and foremost, personal habits. Habits are something you cultivate. It's not something you just wake up overnight and say your habit is bad. It's something that is cultivated. Coming into marriage, some persons, because we have our private lives before you two people come together. Now there are certain things, certain do's that one may have that the other may not be comfortable with or not like in the process of. So it's covered that there are so many things that causes some of these habits. Some are consciously acquired, while some they are unconsciously. Because some it may be as a result of a peer group influence, some is environmental. Like let me give you an example. When you say somebody's fond of abusing the children, most probably because of where he or she grew.
Yeah.
Where they're saying the child just want to say, you know, go better for you, all these things. You know, that's an habit that the other partner may not be comfortable with. This. How are you fond of abusing these children? Most probably it's because of where the person grew. If the person grew in the other side, from where I said now, you know the people that lives
Yeah.
that come from that party. You discover that the use of words, magical words, will be coming into play. Don't do that next time. Else you go to naughty corner. Where you say, why you behaving that they not go better way? Those type of attitude. So there's environmental influence, there's societal influence, there's a peer group influence. Some they're just
Educational influence.
yes, some are just either they are timid, out of exposure, they are not exposed to certain things. So it's a generation some of these habits. Like you find somebody walking or talking or there's some things they do, whether they pick it from even hereditary. Some they pick it even from their parents.
Parents.
Yes, somebody will just somebody will be saying
Yes.
those ones they are there.
Yes.
So there are so many factors. Maybe as we go on, it's got that these factors will be coming out. What actually leads to some of these habits. And now coming into marriage, you won't really know that to the other spouse that this is an ugly, okay, because the person is not accepting it now. Not that I'm saying that it is bad.
Okay.
But there are some habits that are good. Some habits that are good that when you bring to marriage, beautiful. It helps to cement the marriage. While some other ones, the partner is not comfortable with it. Every time you be eating onion, every time you be eating garlic, you come and lie down. You know what it means. So that's what it is. There are a lot of factors.
Okay, so having like established that there are some annoying and irritating personal habits, can we also get like the good side, some personal habits that are okay, some good personal habits?
Okay. Just a few.
Mm-hmm.
Waking up early is a good personal habit. Reading is a good personal habit, and like you mentioned earlier, the use of the magic words. Like this morning, I had to remind my kids, like ask my kids, remind me what are those magic words again. So those are very good personal habits. There's nobody you tell please that would not oblige you. You say sorry to when you're wrong. Thank you when you're gifted something. Pardon me when you know that genuinely you've offended this person. So for me, I think those are some good habits that we can actually cultivate.
Okay. Marriage counselor, what are the bad habits or bad habits?
You know, you talk about habit, the first thing that comes to people's mind is
Bad. Yes.
When you don't mention that word habit,
Yes.
say, no, there's nothing good about. One of the one that really pissed me off is somebody using the restroom. Using the restroom and refusing to flush. They are numerous.
Okay.
Like that now, it depends on individual, but I don't think either from both sides, whether a man or a woman, especially if it's okay, you just urinate, it's a different thing. What? Going there, how do you use the restroom? Because except if you want to say both parties are in the same house and they have different restrooms. But is that really practicable in Nigerian situation?
Even if they have,
They-
I mean, does that warrant you to actually go?
You know the essence of marriage, so to say, is for two people to come together as a team to live together. So if we are having two different bedrooms, It is occasionally, that's what it is meant for. But it is meant that there should be a master, that's what that word master's bedroom, whereby two of them they retire to that master bedroom. Except you are telling that they have two toilets inside the master bedroom. But whatever situation, wherever it is not a good habit that somebody will use the restroom. The other one is coming in, it is not flushed.
What if in a situation just trying to like I'm not trying to make excuse, what if in a situation where there's no water to flush? What do you do at that moment?
Even in our
Maybe the
society,
person wasn't around when you used and didn't flush.
Or there's no water at
Yes,
that
the person
moment.
just
and
came to
you,
meet
you,
you,
you
there's
just
no
said
water.
you said at that moment.
Yes.
It is not an habit.
Okay.
When we say it is an habit, you have
Mm.
cultivated it over time.
Okay.
Consistently. I come this time around, I flush for you. I come again, I flush for you. Man, what is going on?
Yes.
So you know,
what is going
no, what is going on? Every time the same thing, keep on saying the same thing. Okay, let's forget about the toilet. What about you messing up the house all the time? Everywhere is scattered. There are people that are scattered.
You
just,
come back, you
they
put-
just
you
use
flunk-
clothes they dump.
You fling your socks somewhere,
Fling the sauce
fling
somewhere.
the eye somewhere.
Like what they said, say, let do the other way now.
Okay.
That the whole place is scattered.
Yes.
The clothes are here, the children's shoes are there. You will find where you have boys in some homes, because I've seen the practical situation whereby the TV is turned the other way. Because they've used football in the house. You have
Wow.
clothes, a crate that they climb to collect things up and down. The whole place is like a dumping site. And you keep on so that's an habit. Someone that is not clean. Okay, that's someone that does not see anything wrong in, because I have this in SS. I just remove this dress, I throw it. Remove this dress, I throw it. Remove this shirt. You just be dumping it. The washman will come and put them together. When you enter some person's room, you not even have a space to put your foot. See, you want to try to the other part. That's an habit. So when the man keep on talking, the woman say, why are you like this? Your shirt just come. Shoes. If you watch people from the Asian country, at times they come in, they keep their shoes at the door.
Yes.
They wash and then before they come in. But like in our own society, let's bring it back home. The men just walk in with his shoes. Before you know, you just fling it to one corner there. Later we say, what is smelling in this? When you put on the shoe from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. when you came back, you don't fling it without doing anything to it. These are habits. And when she complains, see, you knock too much. Talking about you knock too much. When I talk about this morning, she say, hey, your own is too much. Every time you complain about this, complain about it. I say, even nagging is an habit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I think it's born from the
Born
complaint
from-
thing that you just talked about.
Okay,
Now.
the
Like nagging now, nagging doesn't just come on its own. It comes, something triggers it.
But there are some persons that are born to nag.
How about
I'm sorry to say, but I mean, they
If
just
it's
do
born
it
to nag,
consciously
then it's
or unconsciously. It's already in it, as in they have cultivated. Sometimes they do it with even without knowing. Sometimes they do it even without knowing.
agree.
No,
You-
I
To
agree.
nag
yes,
without
they
knowing.
do it.
I
Yes.
agree.
They are not
Sometimes
Because
conscious.
if you keep nagging over time, that's a habit. So it means that sometimes when you even have to be kind to the other person, you just nag about it rather than show kindness. Because I could come back and throw my shirt, just like he was trying to explain, and it could be born out of tiredness.
Okay.
And then a man who nags, who is very put together, because we have some men like that, that they come into the house and they want everything
To be almost
exactly where
perfect.
it
Yes,
was.
that's right.
And then he comes in and then he finds that thing, and then the next thing is nagging. I mean, this is not something I do every other time, so you shouldn't nag at that time. But there are some men who would still go ahead. Now, I'm not talking about just men, but generally, I'm saying that if you nag all the time, it could become a habit, and then you could find yourself
Okay,
nagging.
what if in a situation, let's say in the eye of a third man, what you are doing is an habit, let's say a bad habit, like scattering everywhere, but your partner doesn't see it as a problem, doesn't see it as an issue. Can we still call it a bad habit?
Definitely, definitely. That your partner decides to
keep
be
mute.
tolerant doesn't
Yes.
mean it's not bad.
Is okay.
Okay, now for
Okay.
women, sometimes I'm sorry, but I'll go very deep. Like you use your pads, you're stained, the bed is stained, you pull your panties, you just dump like that. Sometimes your partners won't say anything, but it's awful, it's bad, really, really bad. So it doesn't mean it's not a bad habit.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing that is invading the other person's
Comfort,
comfort
comfortability,
or
sort
space,
of,
I
yes.
think it's bad and we should watch.
Then it now brings us to, can a habit be addictive?
Okay. Like
And-
getting addicted
yes,
to a particular
yes,
bad habit.
yes, of course.
Or a good habit.
Okay, good
Either
or bad.
good
Yes.
or bad,
Either
can
way.
it be addictive?
For sure.
Yeah, I
Really?
think so.
Yes.
Okay, so can you?
When we talk about
Like we have habitual smokers.
yes,
Okay,
people that do drugs, you will say it's not cocaine, but tramadol is a drug.
okay.
That's harmful. Even food.
Now,
Even food.
eating.
Some people they eat after
You know,
eating, they want something extra to put in the mouth. Every time you finish eating food, either you want to take chin chin, you want to drink wine,
Okay.
you want to drink a bottle of beer. If today,
Eat until you sleep.
yes, some people are just like that. That after eating, say, okay, now the next thing say, I want to take one bottle. Okay, after taking that one bottle today, okay, let's say today is just for today.
Today is Sunday.
But the following day, that is not Sunday again, on a Monday, tomorrow you are going to work, and you say, now let's take it 2 bottles. And you know my brand.
Mhm.
You will tell her, you know
My
my
usual.
usual. You take, and you know that is what also when we talk about that aspect, and that's what also takes some men out to say they are going on a sit out. And he sits out on a Monday evening. Somebody sitting there is going to work next day, he's taking 6 bottles, taking 8 bottles. You see that aspect too. It's also an habit from that end.
It will definitely affect your productivity at work, at home,
Definitely.
everything.
Okay. Okay. So now, personal habits. 2 persons are coming together in a union, but in this coming together in a union, they come together with their different baggage. Okay.
Yeah.
A man has his or her own baggage.
Yes.
A female has his or her own baggage. Now, the question will be, can this baggage be, integrated such that they will have a common front in the marriage? But don't go nowhere. Let's go on a short break. After this break, we can now hear the stance of our various guests. Welcome back to Marriage and Family Matters. Remember, we are talking about managing personal habits in marriage, and we have a very great guest that is trying to help us understand these personal habits to the tiniest bit.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, I think we should allow our audience to wade into the
Yes,
matter.
let
and
them
then-
tell us what's happening.
Yes, to call in, send SMS or WhatsApp messages. The numbers to call are 0700 123 7990. 0700 123 7991. 0700 123 7992. Also, you can also call 081 084 47518. Call in and tell us if you have any experience to share with us, personal habits in your marriage and how you have been able to manage it.
Okay, so before
Back to
yes, before we went on the short break, I was asking if there can be common front on the 2 different personal habits. Having a common front in the marriage such that it will make it. Because I could remember during your opening remark, you did say that personal habits can make or mar
a
marriage,
marriage.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now, when these 2 persons are coming together, can there be a common front? Both of them bringing their individual personal habits and then having a central point where they can forge ahead, and
Yes,
it becomes
definitely.
acceptable by the 2.
Okay, definitely. So I would say, let me say this before I go into that. Marriage, like I said, marriage was ordained by God.
That's
And
right.
there's definitely a purpose for marriage,
That's
and
right.
then why that marriage because it's an assignment.
Yeah.
And so the wife has the role to help the man, right? And so most times people go into marriage without even understanding the purpose for which they were going into that marriage for. Now, what happens in the marriage of Mr. A is not the same thing that should
Okay.
happen to my marriage.
That's right.
So if I go to the internet now and I pick up some habits that does not look like it's going to wear my own family is going to, there's definitely going to be clashes.
Yes.
So if you understand your purpose, you understand why you're in that marriage, you understand where the man is headed. Now, let me give us a practical example, for instance, and I'll use my own family as an example.
Okay.
Now, let's say currently, okay, before now, in the last 10 years of our marriage, my husband worked with a corporate organization, and then in the 10th year, he resigned, and then we do the same kind of business. So, what it means is that we're together 247.
Okay.
So now we're in the office, and for instance, the table is clumsy. Now, my husband's personality is that kind that he wants it,
Arranged.
tidy.
Okay.
Just keep this here, let the laptop be here and that.
Mm.
And then for me, I write a lot. So if you're in front of my work table, you'll see a lot of books,
Papers,
papers
scribbles,
stuff.
and yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, right now, we are beginning to understand each other in a different
Okay.
way. In the last 10 years, it was easy and interesting. But right now, we're beginning to adjust certain things because he comes and he's wondering why the table is like this. And then I'm wondering why he's too organized for this thing. See, you need to seal this deal this way.
Calm down.
I don't know if you understand. So I'm
Yes.
the fire person, he's the calm but organized one. So you would notice that there are a bit of clashes. Now, I'm not bringing it down to the house where we talk about the toilet anymore, but I'm talking about
Office
this
space now,
office
the
space
corporate
now, and
space.
that's because we now work together. So now, if there's no room for a common ground, there will definitely be clashes. And then by the time we leave the office and we get back home, we will not be united because I'm angry at something he did. So I would say that we should not be critical of each other when we're managing habits. That's because we formed certain habits over time. But if you have an understanding of what you're doing and where you're headed, now you know what kind of habits are good that will lead you where you're headed. And so, what do? With patience, carefulness, you both can develop the right habits, the good habits that will take you to your destination. That's what I can say about that.
Yeah, just to add or just to digress it. You said habit is not what you is what you form over time, and marriage doesn't just happen. Before you get into marriage, there must have been courtship, dating, and courtship. During that period of courting, if there are some habits that you're not cool with, at that point, what do you do? Should you allow it to first into your mind, then now start complaining?
Okay. Um, from my explanation, you'll tell that I had courted my husband for 5 years, and I will be married for 10 years. December will make it the 11th year that we'll be married. Now, this side of him or this side of me was not an issue. It was never an issue because I was never in his workspace. Each time he was at work, I was writing, I was doing my stuff. I don't know if you understand. Now, it doesn't mean that I have to just stay stuck and say, no, I write a lot, I do this, and so I'll just remain that way. No. And there's a misconception. A lot of times we think that habits that have been formed over time cannot be changed. No, it can be changed. It can be changed. That's the truth. And that's what marriage does. You don't come to a marriage and then expect that you are still the same way. Yes. You need to find a compromise. So now back to your question. There are some things that you will never know until you're still in the field. Okay? Yes, you can never finish knowing a human being. It's not possible.
That's right.
I don't think so. So that's why you will notice that even at Golden Jubilee, you will notice that there are still some. The last time my husband was at home to visit his parents, his father is sick at the moment and all, and then the mother was just complaining about how he doesn't want to take his medication and all that. And the father too was at the corner complaining to him, your mother is just nagging. No, the doctor said I should take it when I feel this way. These are grown adults that have been married for 50 years.
Wow.
And I mean, you never know. It's just like an onion. It keeps unfolding, unfolding. But there are certain habits that you should not stay with in courtship. For instance, somebody that lies a lot. That's a two-faced person. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
Somebody lies a lot and then you're with that person. Somebody has a kind of, what do I say now? A personality that is not balanced. What I mean is the person is this way and the next minute the person is this way.
Or
That's like a
violent
bipolar
person.
Bipolar type of person.
kind of person. I don't know if you understand. There are certain signs, red flags that you should look out for.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good
Hello.
afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Okay, well,
You want to start?
we just remember to that the lines are open and the lines to call again is 070 0123 7990. Again, 08070 123 7991. And then we have 081 0844 7518. Please, you can call us on any of these lines and share your thoughts how you have been able to manage your personal habits in marriage. Marriage counselor, I wish to ask this question. Is snoring a habit?
Snoring is not an habit. You can't classify snoring as an habit. It's something you cultivate. Something snoring has a natural. There are factors responsible for snoring. There are factors responsible for snoring.
Okay.
Some depends either the person lying position can lead to snoring, either the person's tiredness after the day's job, the person's size can lead to snoring. I've met somebody who is huge and he sits just where we are seated. His eyes are open and he snores. You know me? I say, boy, what's your own? Why are you sleeping? He said, I'm not sleeping. Every time he says not sleeping. So we now got into that discussion. I didn't want to open it like this is snoring of a thing that I think is disturbing us. He now said his wife has even complained.
Okay. We have a caller.
call.
Okay. All right. Please, you can continue.
Now, when I said over time, if he intentionally he does this without knowing,
All
it's
right.
a different thing.
Okay.
But like it's in his own case now, he has tended to the
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. What is your name and where are you calling us from? All
now
right.
if like in that case now he has attributed it to his body mass.
Okay.
But that is what is responsible for it. If I start picking my nose unconsciously, maybe I add kata once in a while, or there's hair growing on the nose, and I did like this unconsciously over time, ever after coming from the salon, I still do that. With time, you are told you still could not correct it. Over time, that is when it becomes an habit. But somebody that snores today, say you tap the person, change your position, and the person turns the other way. And
That's another gear.
it doesn't no it doesn't
It
stop.
stops.
It
Okay.
stops.
Okay.
It stops. Then and you know that person that's even sleeping, that snores. Most times people snores, they are sleeping.
They're not aware.
They are not aware. Even when you tell them that you snore, say they will even tell you
Don't snore.
it's not possible. How can they hold me snore?
Okay.
So we cannot really term snoring as an habit because the person did not cultivate it.
Okay, so snoring might not be. But the question now, to you, Mrs. Oche, but the question now is who indicates or who actually says this is bad habit? Is it your partner, or it should be a generally accepted or applicable understanding that this is bad habit? Or when your partner does not feel comfortable with what you are doing, is that when we can term that particular habit as being bad or good?
Okay. I would say from two different.
All right, then we have a caller, please.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Today's network, sir. Hello.
The network is bad.
Good afternoon, baby. How are you?
Here is the mother who is calling. She
What's
the one
your
calling.
name?
If you want,
Okay.
Okay.
hand it to
All
her,
right,
the
thank
mother.
you very much for
Baby,
calling.
baby.
All right, so we were saying about.
Okay, so who determines what's bad, what is
Habits
bad,
or
or
bad
not?
habits
Yes.
is
Okay, I would say that from two different angles now. The first angle would be that just like we have a conscience and we know when we're doing something that is bad, there are certain things that are generally accepted. There are etiquettes to certain things.
Okay.
But for somebody who is not aware of that information, now for instance, you pick up a wife from a village,
Okay.
and then she does not understand that if she's using her fork and knife to eat, the fork needs to be on the left and then the knife
Knife
on the right. Now you can't say she has a bad habit. That's because she has not been taught how to use that. Now, if you, her partner, attributes that to a bad habit, then that will be you not being kind,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Now, so bad habits, for me, I would say when we're faced with certain situations, we know what is bad and what is bad. And some of the instances we use, like the domestic bad habits, let me call it that way. You use the toilet, you don't flush. Everybody knows it's bad. It's bad to your health, it's bad to the sight of the person. You're teaching your children things that they would form over time. Just like you said, some are hereditary. I just learned recently that if you
Hello, we have a call. Hello. Ah, finally. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome on board. What's your name and where are you calling from, please? Okay,
Okay.
Agatha,
Agatha,
welcome
you're
to the
welcome.
show. So tell us, how has it been? Personal habits in marriages. Give us an example of how personal habits has, how you've dealt with an issue of personal habits, whether good or bad. Okay.
Okay.
Size,
Okay.
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 Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay,
Okay.
thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Agatha.
calling. And
Enjoy
we're
the rest
glad
of
that
the day.
you have been able to adjust your habits. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. So
okay, sorry, can I just add to the
Okay.
snoring
okay, please you
aspect?
can.
Okay, so when the marriage counselor too was talking about your size and snoring,
Okay.
I would say that the habit there for me, I know that some people are naturally fat, but there are most people who are fat, you can attribute it to their eating habits.
Really?
Yes, eating habits. So you don't eat very late at night and then you expect that you still be in shape, or certain foods, you eat a lot of starchy foods and all of that. So I think you need to see a dietitian. That will be how to handle that aspect. You need to see a dietitian. You need to, if you know that you have a certain sleeping position and all, just like she already advised. And then sometimes you need to visit the doctor. For some of them, there's something, maybe an ENT doctor or something that has to do with the nose and all of those things. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes,
I
let's bring it to our
yes.
people in the lower community.
That's what I wanted to say.
They don't need dietitian because you don't even know it's a dietitian.
Oh, okay.
Somebody will help you select your diet. Somebody that is living, I don't want to call areas. There are certain areas we know in this Abuja here. People are living in Lungu. They are just cut down what you eat. Not everything that comes that enters your mouth. When they go for party, apart from the one that will enter inside bag, salam will pass. Abacha will come. Pomo, everything. You eat everything and you expect. So just cut down what you eat, like what she said. Eh? Eba, ona, what? Be putting all these things together, you everything come, you swallow.
Yeah.
And some, not just that, even the quantity they take. You are taking a food that is the soup is not, there's no much nutrient inside the thing.
Yeah.
You are swallowing a bowl of ona. How?
I know of somebody that uses tray to eat rice. Tray pan to eat rice.
Wow.
So you see such type of this thing. Then also junky foods. What say junky foods now? You go every time you are eating and drinking ice cream. You are enjoying. You are eating coke. You are eating rice and drinking coke. You are enjoying.
Yeah.
But you don't know that there's the quantity of sugar that is going into.
And those are actually bad habits
That is it.
to our health. Yeah.
Okay.
Apart from snoring, yeah.
Well, okay. So I want to I want to do like a practical life example. A woman was brought up in a particular way, and then gets married, then let's just say she has like this particular bad habit. Understand that she was brought up in this particular way. She has this habit that is bad, but then she doesn't know. Eventually gets married, and then the husband keeps complaining this habit is bad, but she doesn't see it as bad, and then is not, should I say, is not willing to change because she doesn't see it as bad. How is
This
that
is how
supposed
I
to
was.
play?
This is how you
Yes.
met me. And you
Something
married
like
me.
that. How's that
So what are the steps
how's that supposed to play in the
Yeah.
marriage?
to do?
Because definitely if they cannot find a balance,
They come
they'll
on
definitely
fronts.
be talking about going apart. But then here we are centered on trying to bring them together. So what's supposed to be like the
Sorry.
No, you
Yeah,
can.
you can.
So I'll say you just answered the question, finding a balance. Okay, sometimes when you're correcting your partner, you need to be, I kept using the word kind.
Okay.
Anybody you show kindness to will be willing to listen to you. But if you're rebooking me every time, you're too critical, you're just complaining, telling me about the bad sides of me. These are things that I formed over time. But there's a way that you would, put it to me that I would understand.
Correcting in love.
Correcting in love. Just show kindness. And I think for the person, for the receiving partner, for me, I feel that everybody has a bad habit.
Yes, that's right.
Has
Yes,
Consciously
yes.
or unconsciously.
Unconsciously. Do you understand? So
That's right.
we need to be kind to each other. What you want to get from me, you should be able to give to me.
Mm.
So there are certain things you don't like about me that I also don't like about you.
Yeah.
So the balance is, don't be too critical, be kind in correct thing, and then you receiving, be willing to accept correction.
Okay. So
Then let's look at it from the people they brought from the village,
yeah, okay.
because it's two different scenarios.
Mm.
This person that has not seen, that has not lived in a flat before. You know, because of the space they have, some people just throw things, and you now find yourself, this woman, I've been telling her, because she doesn't know. We say return of hands, return this thing to this particular place. She doesn't understand that. Why not you go and do it? Every time you are complaining, you are complaining, you are complaining. Instead of not to even give yourself hypertension, go and do it. And when she keep on saying that, okay, this is what this man meant, or this is what this woman meant. But most times it's women they bring from the village. It's
Oh,
not
yes,
actually
true.
men.
Yeah.
They bring from. You also bring another one and say, this one does not know, he does not know how to cook. That this one doesn't know how to cook. Every time you are complaining, when I go to a Yabo place, you see the way he will do the pounded yam and the soup. Why you always go there? This one is the pounded yam, man. Why is your own like this? If you know what you actually want and you want her to go that way, why not go to the market one day? You don't even need to inform her I'm going to the market. Buy the food even and come. Wash your hand, prepare this food very well. Let her eat, have a taste of what you are talking about. She will even ask you, what and what did you add to this thing? That's when you start talking about, okporoko is there, fish is there, crayfish is there. You say, okay, if it's like that, why not? Because I know of a case that I handled some time ago. It was even beans that was the problem. I don't like the way you cook beans. Because in my mother's house, and when you start making comparison, my mother does it this way, it becomes a problem. Now, when that case came like this, and the guy said he's a superman in cooking beans, when we start talking, I said, see, guy, this thing is very easy. Get these beans. How do you want it prepared? She will be there with you as people are gisting, you are preparing it.
Show, do.
Before you know it, she does it the way. He said, I want it like a wagon. You do it this way, you do it that way. Come and show her how to do it. Not every time today you complain. Next morning you are gotten it now, but the palm oil is too much. You know, this one it tastes nice, but the Maggi, I don't really know whether I just ate Maggi cubes just now. What are we talking about? Come out and
That simply means going the extra mile. That is when perhaps the communication has not really yielded the needed result it should have. That is when you now
Practical examples.
practically understand them,
Okay.
exemplify. Maybe at this point in time, we should just go on a little break so that everybody go calm down. Make our listeners to rest a while. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back, my people. It is still Marriage and Family Matters here on 91.3 FM, Radio Maria, the voice of truth. And I am still your girl, Estanya. I've been talking about
managing personal habits in marriage.
Yes, thank you. Managing personal habits in marriage, and we have been able to. We have learnt a lot. If you see Nelson's book, Kai, I beg. But don't forget that the phone line is still on, and you can reach us on.
081 084 475 18.
You can also send your WhatsApp messages there too.
Okay, so before we went on this very quick break, Mrs. Anna, you talked about showing kindness, and then while we're doing like our brainstorm before now, we talked about being like a help, a shield in times of these personal habits. Me, I call it scratch my back, I scratch your back. So I want to ask, what is the role of this help, this kindness? What role does it play in marriage? Now, not these personal habits again. Oh. Now, how does it help you guys come together in
Like you
marriage?
being her strength.
And
she's
weak,
her
when you are
weakness.
weak, and you are being my weakness when I'm your strength.
Okay, yeah, so the essence of marriage is to make it work, right?
Mm.
Yes.
The essence of marriage also is to bring up your kind children that will form a part of the society, make the society better. So there are certain habits that would, that you can inculcate in your children that will make the society better.
So
Right,
habits
true.
are transferable.
Yes, they
Okay.
are transferable. They are transferable. And the truth is, if your children are out there causing trouble, a nuisance to society, God is going to ask you.
That's
So
right.
the first part is we need to know that we'll be accountable to the Creator who
Even on earth before the creator, because people start asking, who is your father? Who is your mother?
Yes.
Exactly. So people see certain marriages and they admire these marriages, but it takes a lot of work. A lot of work. So I'll say you need to be very intentional in cultivating the right habits. And if you're intentional, then there has to be good communication between you and your spouse. Because the truth is, you're trying to. Now, there are certain things. Let me just use a practical example.
Yeah.
Okay, now in a family setting, sometimes you find that one spouse is the quiet one, and then the other one is the one that is always hitting the kids and all of that. Then it looks like the
One
mother is
wicked,
harsh,
yes,
and
and
the
then the
other
other one
one.
is nice.
So you need to have a proper communication between yourselves. Like for me and my husband, no matter how you're correcting the other child, nobody comes in. We have the same voice. So they believe that we have the same voice. But later on, my husband will say, you shouldn't have hit him on the face like that. I don't know if you understand
Yeah.
what
But
I'm trying to
definitely
say.
not in the presence of the
Of-
kids.
Definitely.
That's right.
Definitely not in the presence of the kids. Then another habit we formed is I don't know. Esther is on my Facebook, so somehow I don't know if she stumbled on that write-up, but something happened, and my son was trying to, write an article. He was interviewing me and stuff, and then he got to the part where he was asking who my best friend was,
Okay.
and then I mentioned a particular person, and he said, "No, that's not your best friend. Your best friend is Dada. That's my husband." And I'm like, "No, Dada is not my best friend." And then he calls his siblings, and then they are arguing, and they were really confused because they felt we are best friends. So there was something we intentionally agreed to do. We argue, we quarrel, we fight, but we have never done that in front of the kids. So there are times that we just take a stroll out of the house. Now you, my neighbor, you're watching us. Yes, you're watching us and you think we're going to have fun. But no, we're going to really express ourselves. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
Those are some of the things. So you need to be intentional about what goes in and out of you. For me, that's, I don't know.
I think it's a very great lesson there.
Yes. Very
Whatever you are
practical.
doing shouldn't actually be, because somebody was telling me of a story. I think it's cancer, marriage cancer. You were saying something about a lady or a man or a lady who cooked for her husband, and then at some point in time, the
son.
child actually deturned and ate
Took
the
meat. Okay,
right?
I remember
And
that
then
story.
the man was insistent that the lady, the woman
woman-
spanked the
The
child
boy.
for doing that, and then the man was insisting that she must kneel down and beg
the
her
boy.
child. You get the thing now, that she must beg the child. And then the question is, should that be obtainable? As in, should it be seen? Because you can see what the picture she created now. That they would have to step away from the the views of the children and express themselves. But this one happening within the context of the children. I mean, how encouraging.
Most times when you find situations like that, it's because they've not really understood themselves to that point that this is what they ought to do. Some just feel that moment, I must tell you that I have that male privilege.
Control.
That yes, that
Alpha males.
yes, that you ought not to do that.
Okay.
Also, some people like they celebrate men. Say it's a male child, so you don't do that. You say that is you are even creating more problems in the society. When you start making him feel that it's a mini god, that gender imbalance is there. Okay, even the mother, not the sister, even if it's an elder sister, you don't do that. But now, if both parties understand, okay, this is what is the, and they have their rules, like what she said, there's an agreement at a certain point in time. When she mentioned the instance of both of them working in the same office, in my inner mind, I smiled. Because there's certain things she may not say, but I know that plays out when both of them are in the same office like that. Because you get to see yourself every day more than before. There are certain things that will even be playing out now. Even people that are very, very careful, you know that when he is angry over certain things, it plays out. So most times, that one, if you even help them to even understand themselves better and even put in more rules. So if you are in a family, the man and the woman does not have rules that when it comes to this one, especially the woman talks, you just shout at her. Or the man is, yeah, are you? But most times, education also comes to play. You find some people that you see, and say, you see what your father is doing now? Papa Ebuka, I'm telling you. You find that. But the one that pains me is those that are enlightened. When they still play out this way. Because the normal thing to do, when certain things happen, for a man, I said it the other time, the guest we had said, she liked that word that I used when I said, a reasonable man. Because for a reasonable man, just keep quiet. Remain calm. Just for a while. She will talk. Remain calm. Later, when the air is cleared, when both of you are in the room, either in the evening, when we're talking about communication strategies that time, we brought it up. Hey, both of you can talk these things. Babe, this thing, I know really, it doesn't really go down with me the way you spoke that time, XYZ. Most of that the kids were there. Because if you don't do that, you are building another generation of kids for the society that will tomorrow cause another problem in the society. And you start hearing that is how my father used to. Doesn't know I'm the man of the house. The man of the house will come into play. So
Yes, I'm not meant to cook.
Yes,
I'm
they're not meant to cook.
No, of course, these are the stuff that you begin to hear. Like, I am the man, I should not be cooking.
Yes,
it's a female role.
Yes, in Africa, this thing, but I don't subscribe to that. Because when they say, like what she said, the woman is meant to do what? Help the man. Help meet. So if we are to do a job, who does most of the job?
The man.
It's the man. The woman is just supposed to, even if you say I should redefine this thing, the man should cook, the woman should go and bring water and be pouring inside. Because it's helpmate now.
I help you to open the mouth.
And that time that open the mouth, that is where the intimacy grows. Not that you cross your leg in the parlor, you are reading newspaper or listening to news.
And you are dishing out
and then they say,
of instructions.
Make sure that is it. And then they say, make sure that soup is very sweet. Oh, that like something you cooked.
Yeah, you made mention of communication. Going for can we say there's a one for all solution for this for bad habits, or that every habits have their own solution? That communication alone
they are
not
unique
actually
formulas.
Communication.
Like, for example, not flushing the toilet. Instead of talking, you just go and flush it, and then aside communication.
Communication first is the bedrock, because you have to talk about it. Either you talk about it in the bedroom, and that talk will even lead another thing, or you walk, or you go out, or even take yourself that you are going for whether how do you call it, unwind, but you're actually going to talk about some of this. That is communication aspect. But like the question he asked now, you can actually go the extra mile. You can also try to see things from each other's perspective. Because there are certain things that you have some habits you bring into marriage that the other person at first may not see anything good in that habit. And the habit may actually be the one that will later help to bond the marriage. Like let's think about eating, for instance. Some people believe that, okay, I grew up in the Middle Belt. It's pounded yam. I do no other one. Yeah. My wife is from the Middle Belt. She does pounded yam. I don't do pounded yam. I am from the riverine area. I don't do that. But when we now came into marriage, discover that this food now, which is our own habits, the way she eats small, and we started trying to see how we can strike a balance. When I eat, you eat, prepare my own type of food. Now she's a professional preparing my own type of food. And our own, just I think September 5th now, even today, their community celebrating Igedagba today.
Okay.
It's their New Yam Festival.
Yeah.
And when that day came, I was the one that said, don't forget that date. But when we started, it was a problem.
Yeah.
But now I am the one that celebrates Igedagba more than her.
Mhm.
So you see, it helps to smooth
Okay.
our own from that end.
Wow, it has been quite a day. It just be me like say, no, no stop this topic. But it's almost the time is almost getting against us. So Esther Anya, our favorite girl on radio, what and what can you actually say are the things that we should be dropping out for the audience based on what has been discussed here today? What are the steps or the lessons that should be a summary sort of that we should?
Okay, so we have learned today that in everything you do, everyone has a bad habit. Everyone, not one person on earth has a monopoly of all the good habits.
Yeah.
So in everything that you do, learn to be kind in whichever corrective measure you have taken, you have chosen to adopt. You should be very kind when you are trying to correct. Complaining all the time and grumbling all the time is actually not going to help it. So even when you are trying to be practical with your corrective measure, you have to include kindness in it.
Okay, so Barrister you.
I think nobody forced anybody to get married. Even if you are forced into marriage, you have that obligation to make it work. To make it work. So you have to develop this self-awareness, self-consciousness. Whatever you are doing that your partner is not finding it okay, that is not finding it good, you make conscious effort to try to like what adjust, so I'll be able to make a good home.
Okay, okay, so Mrs. Oche, what is your last words for the audience out there?
Okay, my last words will be something I just learned from the marriage counselor right now, talking about communication. And then from what he was saying, I could tell that communication is not only verbal, it's also non-verbal. So the actions that goes with what we do is something that we should think of. And there's a concept called the TSTD: tell, show, try, and do. So if you're telling somebody something and then that person is not getting it verbally, you can show the person exactly how to do it. So you can just teach him how to flush the toilet and all of those things. So basically, yeah, that would be my final word. So you can
Okay.
also show rather than just talk, talk, talk. Thank you.
Okay, our one and only marriage counselor, what are your last words?
Yes, we want to build a healthy society. We have said so much. Pick the one that you know that will help to your marriage, what you have defined as the bad habit in your partner. And with love, you people should talk about it. Help one another to build a richer home, a peaceful home, and have a peaceful coexistence. In the same way, it transcends to the society to have a beautiful society.
Okay, well, yeah, we don't try for today. Today has been a rewarding day. I will leave you people with this because the summary of what we have just talked about is be correctable. Just try as much as you can to be correctable. Be committed in your union. Be kind when you are correcting. And then I learned one from our guest. He said TSTD: tell, show,
Try.
try, and do. Of course, that is going extra mile apart from just communication. Please, let's try to adopt all this, because the essence of marriage and family matters is just to make the family work and to sustain the family over a long period of time. Thank you for joining us. It is us from here. My name still remains Chijuke Nelson, and we have Esther, Anya, and the host of co-host. Please, thank you for joining us and stay tuned. Join us again next Sunday, the same time, the same station. We wish to thank the crew and the staff and crew of Radio Maria. Thank you and enjoy the rest of